What's good, everybody? And I want to welcome y'all to the Culture Shift Podcast. I'm your host, Juice, and I want to give y'all an update, let y'all know what's going on with the podcast, what to expect, and when you can expect to start seeing some consistent content. The name of the podcast is The Culture Shift. It's going to range from a various different topics from sports, entertainment, real life stuff, and it's never going to always be the same. It's going to be interviews from various different backgrounds. Uh, that's why the name is The Culture Shift, because it's not just specifically one genre or one area. It's going to be a wide ranging. The podcast is going to touch on many different things. Also, if there are some things that you do want to listen, you do want me to talk about, do want me to touch on, please comment. Let me know what it is that you want. And I definitely value that feedback and make sure that I'm catering to the things that interest you. Something that really kind of got me started and into doing this podcasting is, and it's crazy because it kind of started a long time ago when I was a kid. And I won't necessarily say podcasting is what I wanted to do, but I just knew that something big in my life was expected. You know, you can call that selfish, cocky, but I always knew that my life was supposed to be like bigger than what it was. You know, I used to always dream about singing and being like this big superstar, whether I was playing football or basketball, which I was good in. I was just too small, so obviously I couldn't fuck with that. So I had to kind of swerve off, do some other things. And something my mama always told me when I was young was that, man, you like to talk. She was always used to tell me like you'll be a good lawyer. So I couldn't do that lawyer stuff. College wasn't really for me. So but I do like to talk. I like to argue. I like to get my opinions. And so it's crazy because I feel like I could have definitely been a good lawyer, but that schooling, nah, I couldn't do it. So, but like I was saying, so I'm gonna tell y'all a story that kind of put in my mind that one day I'll be like this big superstar. And obviously I'm 30 years old and I ain't nowhere near that. But it's just I always had big thoughts, big dreams. I always felt like everything or anything that I was doing currently, whether it was working or whatever it was I was doing, that wasn't the life that I'm supposed to be living, and obviously nothing is gonna just fall from the sky, you know. So and you can't have a dream without a plan, it's just a wish, you just wishing for something to happen, fall from the sky, you know. So but anyway, so when we was kids, um my grandma, she used to work at the hospital. I'm from Tampa. She used to work at the hospital. And so we would be left at home. My mama used to work and my grandma used to work. So my uncle, he was the one that used to watch us. And I believe like around that time he was probably 14 years old. Um I think I was probably 6, 7. I mean, I could be off a couple years, but I think I was about 6 or 7. I might have been about 5. And then my younger brother, he was 2, 3 years younger than me. So I just remember one day we was chilling. Well, we was at the house just sitting there, and back then when I was a kid, like I was real. How can I put it? I was real sneaky. Like I always wanted to get into something. So we was all knocked out, and I just so happened to wake up in the middle of the night. So I go out there into the living room and I see some matches, right? I see some matches that's on a little coffee table. So I pick them up and my little brother's with me. My uncle, he's still sleeping at the time. Remember, again, he 14 years old. So me and my brother, we sitting there. I liked the match, and I got scared, so I threw it. And my mom, she had like this pile of clothes, and I don't know. See, back then, and you used to keep your clothes in pillowcases. You know what I'm saying? That was like your laundry bin. Well, I don't know how it was for y'all, but in my household, that's how it was. I used to keep our dirty clothes in the pillowcases. So that's what it was. It was like this big old pillowcase, and it was a bunch of clothes in it. And I threw the match on them because I got scared. So when it happened, um, I'm a kid, so I'm sitting up trying to blow this shit out, and ain't nothing happened. I mean, this fire getting bigger. So I'm like, man, I'm naive. I'm a little kid. I don't know nothing. Nothing can't harm me. So I grab my brother. We go back in the room, lay our ass down like ain't nothing happened. So all I remember is my uncle. He get up screaming, "Mama, mama, the house on fire. The house on fire." And we jump up, and at this time, I ain't realize how smart my uncle was. So so we had burglar bars back then. Back then, damn near every house had burglar bars. So my grandma, she had burglar bars on her house, on her doors, the windows, the back, everywhere. So one day, one day, but so what happened? The key for the burglar bars was on the side where the fire was. So you had to get past the fire to get to the keys because it was hanging up. You used to keep it on the wall. So I remember my uncle grabbing us. He took us out to the front where the kitchen was. So the kitchen, it was like this long it's like the one room, long kitchen. But the front door is in where the kitchen is too. So my uncle took us up there. He opened the door, and we're sitting at the burglar bars, breathing through it, like breathing through the burglar bars. You feel me? So next thing you know, um, I see my uncle. He get this big blanket, and it's soaking wet. He soaked it with water, and he threw it over us. He put it over us. So now we just sitting at the burglar bars while he over there with a pot, going back and forth, trying to put the fire out. You feel me? So mind you, again, this is a 14-year-old kid. I mean, I guess at that age you should know a little something, but back then, you know, me being a kid, and then just thinking about it now, it's like, damn, he was real smart and in tune with, his survival instincts real deal kicked in, man. My Uncle Duke was real. But so yeah, we got this blanket on us. He going back and forth. So I remember I only looked back once. When I looked back, and that's probably the reason why I only did it once, because when I looked back, my eyes started burning, like burning real bad. So, which was from the smoke. I ain't never looked back again. But that's when I was seeing my uncle with the pot just flat. You know what I'm saying? I just seen him running up, go back out there. You know what I'm saying? So now the crazy thing is, it was these. So next door to us, it was these crackheads that lived there, right? So it was these little crackheads that lived next door. They came over, and they like, oh, they trying to get us out, everything. You hear sirens, everything coming. But it was the lady across the street, an older lady. So we owe our lives to the lady across the street. And I wish I knew her name, but I don't. And also to those crackheads that I never was able to. I mean, I was a kid, so I never would have been able to thank them anyway. But I just hope that they realize that they really saved 3 lives that day. But so the lady, she had this axe. So the crackheads go over there, grab the axe. They come back over here to the crib. They banging on it. They banging. They trying to burst the burglar bars down. So while we sitting there, you know what I'm saying, looking through, they steady hitting the door. Boom, 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 boom. Next thing you know, I just remember I got caught bad. And matter of fact, I had to get stitches. And you probably can't see, but it's up here. I got a scar right there. I got hit in the forehead with the axe. And all I remember is one of the crackheads saying, "Hey, be careful. Watch out. Watch the kid. Watch the kid." And so in the meantime, my uncle, he's still going back and forth, still trying to put this fire out. And I mean, I kid you not, it got to the point where he couldn't run back and forth no more. He was stuck in the kitchen because the fire had came so far through the, from the other side of the house, through the hallway. Now it's getting towards the kitchen where we at. And I kid you not, probably within 30 seconds, 30, 45 seconds. Cause it feel like a long time when you going through something like that that's scary. And you don't really know, cause it could have been less, it could have been more time than that. I don't know. But that's what it felt like. As soon as the fire got to the kitchen and I knew my uncle was standing up because I heard him screaming, they bust the burglar bars. The door finally opened and we run out. All three of us. And I mean, the second we ran out that house, the whole kitchen was on fire. The whole house burnt to the ground. So that story is just it, because I burnt my grandma's house down to the ground, and ever since then, I was always telling my grandma, like, one day I'm gonna make enough money to pay you back and to get you a new house. And unfortunately, um, she passed before I was able to do that. And this is my grandma right here, Carolyn. You know, um, and I do miss and love her. So, but that's basically what kind of really put in my mind that, like, I'm gonna be something bigger than uh what my current life was. I just always seen it. And sometimes that you just dreaming. Shit don't ever come to fruition. But for me, it just life just never was real because I always felt like that wasn't me. you know and so that's kind of what got me started there. Just when other things, when I came to face the fact that, okay, football ain't gonna work, basketball ain't gonna work, singing ain't gonna work, because I could blow, but my mama messed that up. But that's another story for a different day. So that's kind of what got me here. Because I love to talk, I love to get my opinion, and and it's just I always felt like it was something bigger for my life than what my current life situation or circumstances was. Um, I'm gonna put a link in the description for the article, because I ain't capping. This happened like in '96. I was born in '92. This happened like '96, '97. I'm gonna put the description to the article. It was in the Tampa Tribune or the Florida Sentinel, one of them. But I'm gonna drop that link for y'all so that y'all can see it and y'all can read it and see what the hell I was talking about. But listen, 3 lives were saved that day. And I just felt like I really wanted my grandma to be happy. You know what I'm saying? Knowing that I kept my promise, I kept my word. And she did die before that happened, but I know she looking down on me. I know she's smiling. I know she happy and grateful that what it is that I'm trying to do. So I don't want to take up too much of y'all time. I want to give a big shout out to all of my friends, my family that that kind of gave me the push, man, supported me, letting me know, like, bro, you can do it. It ain't gonna be perfect when you first start off. You might not sound right, you might not talk right, you might not look right. You know what I'm saying? Hell, look at my generic background. but I'm doing it the best way I can right now because I really do want to push this information out and build a culture. This ain't like no clickbait type podcast. This ain't no podcast where I'm looking for gossip. I'm trying to be the first to report something. Nah, this ain't that. I ain't trying to be the biggest podcast in the world. I ain't trying to none of that. You feel me? I'm trying to be genuine, get a real, and just enjoy the feedback. Talk to my people, and go from there. It ain't gonna always be somebody that's famous that I'm interviewing, cause I done talked to a few, um, you know, to kind of connect with, but I ain't trying to build my podcast off brand names. I want to build it up myself from the dirt, from the ground up, and allow that, what I'm saying, to open up whatever doors come, you know. So now the name, the culture shift, I'm kind of going back a little bit, but the culture shift, the name of the podcast, it kind of it's in the name. I'm not. It's for the culture what I'm doing, but it ain't just my people. You feel me? It's worldwide. It's not just like I'm not trying to be one of those people that how can I say it? I just want to get a reel from all angles. No matter what your background is, because I feel like we could learn from anybody and everybody. And I feel like knowledge ain't discriminatory. You can't discriminate with knowledge, because like they say, knowledge is power, and that's real. So I just kind of wanted to give y'all a little scoop rundown, So now that I've put this video out, well, now that I will be putting this video out, I will consistently be dropping something every week on Friday. Um, every Friday. And it's going, like I said, it's going to all differ about what it is I'm going to be talking about or discussing that day. Like I said, it's going to range from entertainment, culture, music, real life, sports. So it's going to be a variety of topics throughout that day. And it's going to be a lot of local stuff because I am from Florida. So I definitely want to touch on a lot of shit here in my city, in my state, so that, we can shed light to where we at, but I'm gonna also be getting out there, touching on everything else too. So if it's stuff, like I said, if it's stuff that y'all want, if it's stuff that y'all want to hear, want me to talk about, just let me know. And I definitely, I get with you. I'm gonna drop links to where you can follow and subscribe and be able to check out my podcast. And um, also, I almost forgot. So my brother, he is a host of this podcast as well. It's not just me. It's my brother as well. And I know y'all probably wondering why I'm doing a video without him. Um, but you'll be introduced to him soon. We just kind of working on some kinks and stuff like that. But in the meantime, I wanted to kind of put something out so that y'all wouldn't be waiting, because I have been talking about and kind of amping up the podcast. So I kind of wanted to put something out there to give y'all an update and what's going on. You know what I'm saying, and like that. So make sure y'all comment and subscribe, man. Let me know if it's something I can do better, if it's something I need to do better, if it's something that whatever opinion, whatever feedback, because I value it. I ain't the type of person that feel like I'm too good for anything, because I can always learn, I can always do better. Nobody is perfect. You'll never be perfect. Won't even get close to it. So that means you can always strive to be better every day. And that's all I'm trying to do. So I appreciate y'all. Like I said, make sure y'all comment, like, and subscribe, and just follow me.